is a real campaign because it does occur in the real world. Also, in the New Hampshire primary 2012, I came in third to Obama on the Democratic ticket. I have high hopes of coming in a tight second between the Democratic front runner or however the pack shakes out, but I think I can come in right behind him at their heels. I am going for low-hanging fruit. I am identifying states that require relatively few signatures or small money to get on the ballot. I am putting together, a real campaign type of team. I am attempting to achieve federal election matching funds with the Federal Election Commission, and that entails raising, the threshold is to raise $5,000 in each of 20 states. And if I am successful in that, they will match that. That will be doubled. And then I would have an insane amount of money to piss away on ridiculous things during the primary season, which is when it must all be spent by. So theoretically, we can have a whole lot of fun if we can find the disaffected people to kick down a little bit of money and propel me all the way to the White House in 2036. That's when I'm thinking I'll be there by.
Well, are you planning on doing, before you ask real quickly, are you planning on doing any campaigning in Georgia? You might have two supporters. I'm not promising. You might have at least two supporters, though.
Okay, well,
you have Ben
this is the
I
goal.
don't know about me yet.
I'd like to get Georgia in play. I have a Facebook group called Georgia 4, the number 4, Vermin Supreme. Check it out if you're on the Facebook machine.
You know what can get you supporters right now from Georgia? Could you say that Georgia's on your mind?
There you go.
In fact,
there you go.
I am on the midnight train to Georgia right now.
If you go to the evangelicals and you say Georgia's on your mind, you will get some support from the evangelicals.
And I'll put in a plug for this moment to check out the segments of my movie Vote Jesus. In 2008, not only did I run as myself, I also ran as a right-wing fundamentalist anti-sodomite presidential candidate named Ken Stevenson.
And make sure you mention that the Earth is only 6,000 years old.
Oh, indeed. We spent plenty of time with Ken Ham and those young Earth creationists, funny people.
Yeah.
We went to the grand opening of the Creation Museum in Kentucky. That was really nice, a lot of fun. Robo dinosaurs and children frolicking. It was a beautiful thing.
So you were getting on Rand Paul's turf, very very crafty.
Well, once again, I mean, for years it's been the case where the outlier on the right and the outlier on the left have pretty much whether the year that it was like Kucinich and Ron Paul were on the slate, and that's exactly sort of the murky area where they overlap and meet, and those are where my supporters sort of are. I mean, it's gotten considerably wider as of 2012, but
then there was a time that. Don't forget about the time Ralph Nader ran. Ralph Nader and I forget the other gentleman's name. Was it Anderson? John Anderson? No.
John Anderson, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you had two polarizing figures.
Well, anybody that's perceived as a spoiler, I don't think I could ever hope to.
Well, don't forget Ross Perot either.
Oh yes, he definitely did some numbers there too. So sure. But people seem to enjoy my bit. I guess if it got to the point where I was a spoiler, people might not like it very much. But
yes, yeah. I wanted to, of course, connect. Of course, we love your campaign and of course, the message that it does bring of just how important we should hold this office. And but underlying that, as I mentioned, getting to the real Vermin Supreme here, I may have learned something on the interwebs that you are an anarchist. And
Yes,
think
sir.
of it
I've always been an anarchist until past several years. I've had to specify that I'm a social anarchist or a left-leaning anarchist of the Kropotkin variety. Mutual aid is a very, very important thing to me. But I've gotten to a point in it where I'm pretty happy with the way it runs in the real world. I totally understand its limitations. We all have our own utopias, and so I'm able to play well with any number of true believers of any sorts and other candidates along those lines. And yeah.
Well, me and Ben, we're more of the anarcho-capitalist variety, and I think I would just of course there's a lot I don't know about. Of course, I mean a lot of things I didn't really like what I heard from other anarcho-socialists, and I don't know. I think a lot of what you say sounds reasonable, though. But maybe you can, of course, help me fill it in and maybe educate me a little bit on what it is.
I'm a pragmatist, and I think what makes me an anti-capitalist is that one of the underlying tenets of the social left anarchism that I subscribe to or like to believe in is the lack of hierarchies, the fact that no gods, no masters, that there's nobody telling me what to do. And I understand it dovetails pretty nice with volunteerism and voluntary association and things of that nature. And I just think the major differences are the framework of charity. My understanding is just looking around and seeing how we can all get together better and how we can help one another. And, that's how that we will disengage from the government by creating our own structures of mutual aid. And whereas I guess the ANCAP's more about perceiving it as charity. And for me, I think it's a little more than semantic. I think.
Okay.
Well, but once again, working with the Free State Project, I have to say, it has moderated my views. It has opened my eyes. I've seen how, these ANCAP communities and projects, how they take care of their own. So I've certainly had to reassess my attitude. I've certainly, I believe that the anti-state is a big part. So that's certainly enough for me to hang with them. I did want to finish up and just say that I think capitalism is an inherently hierarchical and coercive system. But once again, just my opinion. Not trying to start any fights.
Well, no, I'm trying to learn pretty much. I mean, rather than fight. But of course, where you can say no, we're boss.
My idea of social anarchy, however you want to say that, is that you would still fall under this guise of communism.
I guess. If you want to throw terms around loosely, sure, but anarcho-syndicalists and worker-owned factories or worker-owned workplaces or bicycle collectors or worker-owned bookstores and things of those nature. That is what I very much like about my particular brand of anarchism, is that they exist in day-to-day life. Once again, working with the libertarians, I have to admit that the whole underground economy, the exchange that goes beyond and above and below the radar, that is an anarcho-capitalism organism in reality also. Once again, I'm just saying we all have our personal preferences and ideas of utopia, and I've certainly subscribed to mine and respect others.
Okay, so we can coexist. That's cool. I can see that as long as it's voluntary. Yeah.
If I may chime in for a moment, and I've offered this suggestion, numerous times as I've watched people and playing within the system, the current system we have, using their resources, their time, their talent, and everything. continually getting the same results. Why not take all of that and use it towards another model entirely different, a different paradigm entirely, one not based on, this hierarchical form that you're talking about, one based solely on, the volunteerist model, but without a monetary value placed on it. No monetary value. So we're looking at a system where your services and everything is given freely to one another in a society where no one is above anyone else, regardless of where you are in your life.
The Rainbow Gatherings, the Rainbow Family of Living Lights Gathering of the Tribes. Do you know it?
Yeah, like an Ubuntu society.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the Ubuntu Society or the Ubuntu Liberation Movement? That's one of these organizations that's actually, and they're worldwide now, actually promoting this idea. And it's not as far-fetched as some people might believe.
Oh, no. I mean, the sustainability of it is always interesting. Will it scale up and things of that nature? But sure, why not? Give it a whirl.
Because if you can give what you receive with an equal balance, there's no detriment to the ecology. There's no detriment to mankind, and everything survives in balance.
Yeah, I've been attending
the
National Rainbow Gatherings and the smaller Rainbow Gatherings for some 25 years now. They've been going on for 40 years, and essentially what they are is a free association that happens in the National Forest, because we utilize the U.S. Constitution right of assembly as our permit. And so the first week in July, with a week of setup and a week of breakdown on either end, there is 10 to 20,000 citizens or non-citizens or individuals that exist in the woods. We create a village, and these villages require a great amount of infrastructure. They require miles of hoses from the water team, these collectives that form that take care of the different functions. And there's up to 100 different kitchens. During this event, there's a dinner circle with 3,000 or 4,000 people sitting in concentric circles facing each other, being served their dinner out of 5-gallon buckets from almost 100 different kitchens in the woods. It's a non-commercial event. The magic hat has passed. People throw the money in the hat. But because we're exercising our free constitution, it has to be a non-commercial event, and as such, it is. And that's the only place to put the money in it. So the money goes in the hat, goes to a council for banking. The kitchens get together for their kitchen council, decide what they want to need, put together a shopping list, bring it to supply. Supply goes to banking council, gets the money, goes out into Babylon, comes back with all these truckloads of food, gets distributed out to the kitchens, comes back to dinner circle the next night. That's how everything that I learned about anarchy occurs at these events, because it is a fully free, if you will, society that operates on many, many different levels. We try and provide our own neighborhood security. Our government, if you will, is sort of council-based and exists only during those 7 days out of the year. And the decisions are made where it will be the next year occur at these events. And there are just everybody steps up. There is so much firewood to be found, to collected, to be brought, so much shitters to be dug. When the event is over, the cleanup crew disappear. You would never know that this event had occurred 5 or 10, 15 years down the line. And we've been doing this for over 40 years. And everything that I really learned about, that I've learned about sort of anarchy is there. And so I sort of consider myself a rainbow anarchist for what that is.
Cool. That's interesting.
So you should definitely check it out.
Is that how you became an anarchist? Is through gatherings like this? And that's
I think so. I mean, I was doing a lot of social, left type of protests back in the 80s and like that, in 70s, sort of anti-nuclear and weapons and power and what have you. And that definitely put me in touch with a lot of left anarchists. And I guess they're thinking, and many good people. Like I said, I mean, I wasn't really hep to the whole right anarcho ANCAP thing till